So, what happened last time? Quite the traumatic, unexpected episode of trauma, I feel like.
Well, we went for dinner with Alden. That was last week, wasn't it?
Yay.
Yeah.
I think that was the week. We were just
That
on
was
the
the
way
week
back,
before.
weren't
Mhm.
We're on the way back.
Yeah, I think
Was
so.
the whole thing? Oh yeah, it was just the fight and chatting in the Sparrow afterwards.
The catharsis.
We got ambushed by some wizards, who were wanting to steal Inkblot's spellbook, her book from her that she's had with her whole life, which is very special to her. The combat was not going in our favor, so the group decided to jump. However, Inkblot made a last-second decision to not jump and go to one of the dead bodies to... Well, I don't think you know why. Unable to do what she wanted to do because she got hit by a fireball and went unconscious, choosing to save her final spell for something else rather than a counterspell. She then died, and her wonderful friends helped to bring her back by coercing a cabbage seller to steal their truck, their flying vehicle, up to the balcony, where they managed to fend off a few of the wizards, bring her back just after one of the final wizards, I think the final wizard or the final spellcaster, flew away with her book. Then we went to the Sparrow.
And I called Inkblot naive. And I was like, Inkblot, it's like you didn't even die. Maybe you want to process that, because this is the second death in the family in a very short period of time. And I was like, Stan, you monster. I'm not okay with everything that's happened. And now I'm re-traumatized. And then I went away with all my valid points and crawled into bed and looked at the ceiling. And Stan came and looked at the ceiling with me. And we found some form of reconciliation through expression of feelings. For me, the turning point was when Stan was like, no matter what you say, I'm not going to go away. And just from a mechanical point of view, that's the moment for my character. And then we said our little love yous. Not everything is solved, but progress has been made. Yeah, scene.
Yeah. So, on this late evening, I presume you're going to take a long rest. Unless there's anything else. You all kind of seemingly retreated into your bedrooms and rooms. Still in the skeleton of the Sparrow that's still not quite yet finished. There's still tools lying about. 4x4 blanks. 4x4 is a thing I've heard construction people say. So now I'm repeating it. 4x4s everywhere. Flying, drinking, 4x4s everywhere.
And spirit levels? Are there some spirit levels?
Yes, of course. Everywhere. On the ceiling, especially. Weirdly. Or normally. Who knows?
What do spirit levels look like in Eberron?
Well, the problem is I don't know what they look on like on Earth. But like Pokemon, just imagine Pokemon, I guess.
Oh, cool.
The general concept of Pokemon, spirit level.
The abstract idea of catching creatures in a ball.
It's like a squatting frog that spouts fire and is like, this is a flat surface.
Yeah. Sure.
You get fireballed every time it's slightly crooked. Oh, a little to the left.
Oh no, the 4x4 wooden planks.
Anyway, you all quickly fall asleep, fall to the dreamland, to the dull quarry. If there is anything, unless you want to achieve anything, but oh, we have something.
I have a lore question. Every time we go to sleep, do we go to the dream realm of the Dalcori?
Yep.
Every time?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that. That's really interesting.
That's
Okay.
It's called the Dreaming Dark. It's where dreams and nightmares are made of. It's basically almost like another dimension, really, kind of.
I thought, like, in my head, I was like, you get closer to that plane and you're more likely to drift over, but obviously I was projecting my experience of dreaming into the fantasy world. So anyway,
It's a rookie mistake.
after all this time, where I'm at least intermediary.
Exactly. But with that, yeah, take your long rests. Carefully choose your spells if you wish to,
No.
for whatever you have in mind for the following day.
Yes,
All
they
you
taught me
suckers.
there's no
Idiots.
such thing as a non-combat day. Always prepare for combat.
I will finally get to use my Master Scrivener ability. So I will have torn a page out of this old book that you have given me and have written up and created my own personal spell scroll, which I'm still trying to decide what it is at the moment. I will put it in the chat as soon as I have it. I'm just flicking through.
There was one thing that we didn't mention, which was that you did discover a teleportation circle, a destination that
Yes,
you
that is
don't
right.
know anything about.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. That's what teleport means at the end of my notes from our session.
There you go.
Thank you for reminding. But I would say, unless there's anything else, Inkblot would have gotten up very early as she could have. And I would say the other denizens of the Sparrow would have woken to a crash downstairs and a banging.
If I've woken to that, I'll want to go down and see what's going on.
You'll see Inkblot. Well, first of all, you see you have only seen her briefly once before. This humanoid woman, tan skin, brown kind of bobbish hair, button nose, holding the spell book, in sort of a long, sort of flowing, sort of green dress. Oh, Stan, Raya. And she's standing by the door. Good morning.
Inkblot?
Sorry. Yes. I was.
Okay.
I was going out. I thought it would have been wise to not show my face after what happened last night.
Oh, I mean, that might be smart. I'd probably be a hypocrite if I said you shouldn't do that. What was that noise? Are you okay?
Oh, nothing. It was nothing.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
With advantage, because I'm trying to tell if you're lying or not. Oh, not that good.
Well, with a 16, if you are... how much would that reveal? If you are deceiving or not?
I'm gonna roll it here so you don't know.
I think there is a way actually to hide
Doesn't
it.
matter.
But yeah, it's okay.
She is definitely hiding something. Absolutely. Like she's shaking a little bit. She sort of looks at you, sort of looks out the door.
Are you all right? Is there a rush? Has something happened?
I don't really know how to ask, or if I should. I want to go back to the bridge.
Okay.
I know you may not understand, but I thought if I could find a lead on where my book has gone. I know Finnick doesn't understand, but I need it. And I will go alone if I have to, but...
No, I don't think we should go alone. In fact, I was thinking it probably won't be much help at all, but I do have one spell I can do to help me try and locate an object. It's not a huge radius, but I could try it if I come with you.
Yes. Please, Yes.
Okay.
Well, I do not know how to ask Finnick. I want him there, but I don't know what I don't know if he understands. And perhaps he is right, and that maybe I am being naive, but I need to get it back.
I think maybe just ask. I don't see that we'll be putting ourselves in a huge amount of danger just by going to a bridge and seeing if we can find anything. If we take everything one step at a time and try and check in with each other, things aren't going to be easy, but at the moment that's all we can do.
Well, what about I could ask Fennec if he wanted to go for breakfast, and if we happen to go past the bridge, then maybe I could sort of point, and then I do not have to kind of ask him directly, or maybe perhaps while you're having a coffee, I could nip over there. I am a little bit nervous that I have upset him, or that he. Yes.
Could I just mention that your talking would have woken me up, and I'm listening quietly to this all.
To this, I would say if you're trying to, quietly walk up to them without them having heard you, make a stealth check.
Stealth. Yeah, I'm not trying to creep closer very much. I'm just, hanging out. Huh. It's not terrible.
My passive wouldn't be able to get you.
I believe Raya has 17, is that right?
I took the feat that increases your passive perception and passive insight and means you can read people's lips.
Nice.
So I think that's why it's so high.
It's 17, so actually, Raya, you would hear, and, you're a detective. You can deduce that it's probably Fennec who's
Fireball.
walked a little bit closer just to hear what you're talking about.
I don't move though. I'm now still and just listening. Mm-hmm. So
there was a pancake place nearby that the scholars at Mulgrave talked about. We could go there.
I understand why you're nervous. I think it's probably best if we're all out in the open and on the same page. Why don't you just go, and I can come with you if you like, but maybe if you just talk to Fennec honestly and listen to Fennec honestly, even if the two of you don't exactly agree with each other's position, you can at least understand where you're coming from.
But what if he says no? What if he doesn't want to come?
Well, then the two of us can go and we can...
I couldn't let you do that. You need to stay with Fennec. You should.
It's not a very long way. I mean, we'd just be
I
going
know,
to look
but
at a bridge. I don't...
But I feel that everything that we have put him through, everything that I have put him through, I don't want to abandon him.
I mean, we're not going to go and live on this bridge, right? We were just going to go and sort of look at it for a short amount of time.
What if it leads somewhere, and it leads somewhere dangerous?
There's always points where we can stop and reassess and not keep going down a rabbit hole without communicating with each other.
I'm going to walk in now.
Good morning. Hi. Sorry if I woke you. I didn't mean to be so loud.
What's with the face?
People. If we were to run into those people again, I thought it would be best to look different. Unless that's okay. Good. I thought it might be.
Stan Raya turns and just kind of looks at Ink in a sort of...
I feel like pancakes. Do you feel like pancakes?
What kind of pancakes?
Fluffy pancakes in a stack.
What would be on them?
I've not berries, lovely, fresh from out of Shan. I think they get them imported in. They come in frozen, but then they defrost them. But they keep their freshness that way. The scholars at Moorgrave talked about it a lot. I thought it would be a nice way to start the day.
I don't like berries.
You can have it without, perhaps, or maybe just call. Sorry, this is a terrible
lemon?
idea. Pardon?
Lemon, do you think?
Yeah, lemon.
You're sure?
I can go ahead and check.
Why are we going for pancakes? You seem confused. Are you sure you want to go for pancakes?
Everybody likes pancakes.
Was that your answer? Did dying just give you an appetite for pancakes? Were you just like, this life is not worth living? I've realized unless I have pancakes in them.
Fennec,
Wow.
how would you feel about going back to the bridge?
Sorry.
Which bridge?
I think you know which bridge. I actually don't know what it's called, though, having said that.
It wasn't necessarily a bridge. It was there's many of these streets around Sharn, so it probably would have a street number more than a name.
I would be very happy to go to Bridge 1036.
Great.
I think it's a great idea, actually.
Good.
Now, do we stop for pancakes first, or...
Either before or after, I do not mind. Perhaps before, get ourselves ready for the day.
It's up to you. You're the one who feels very strongly about them.
Why don't we get a takeaway? Pick them up and eat them there.
Smart.
All right.
Okay, you're. Are you heading out?
Yep.
Okay, sure.
Get pancakes.
I reach over and I grab just squeeze Stan's hand.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I would like to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I would like us to sit down for pancakes
Yes, of course.
for an hour.
Exactly, yeah.
Sure. You go to the Moorgrave district where Moorgrave is situated. You find the pancake place. Barnaby, did that place have a name, or should I come up with something?
It was called Stack Attack.
Stack Attack.
Stack Attack pancakes.
Kind of off the beaten path, I would say, in a smaller alley.
But there was she just finds this nearby.
Okay.
Like she's never heard of it, never been there.
Okay. You find a smaller kind of tavern, 2-story building built onto the side of one of the Sharon Towers. Kind of moss-covered walls. As you walk in, there's many kind of curtains messily draped over the windows, partially on the tables as well. There's cutlery, there's leftover food. It seems quite a messy kind of, not a morning place, maybe more like a messy lunch place. But you walk in, find a seat, find a table.
I would have, taking Inkblot's lead, I will have disguised myself as a human man, bald, a little bit like pudgy in like a beautiful way, and kind of avuncular, and a sparkle in my eye, and the temperature and warmth of the room goes up with this presence in it, and you don't know it, but this is actually the face of Greg.
All right. I will say, as you leave Sparrow, I should have said this, there is still heavy rain. It seems like it's been raining throughout the night. And as you kind of walk through Caleston District, you actually see people trying to kind of building kind of small sandbag walls and trying to kind of avert floods, as there's kind of almost rivers partially. Some streets are becoming rivers as the water from upper districts is rolling down. And looking up at the clouds, it just seems dark. There's no sun in the Caleston District anyway, but as you catch glimpses of clouds, they seem dark, stormy. But yeah, you and your disguised selves find a table, find a couple of chairs. What would you wish to do for an hour?
First of all, I want to make sure that I can get pancakes with lemon squeezed on top of them.
Mm-hmm. That's easily done.
Great. And then I would like to cast Find Familiar and summon a pseudo dragon.
Okay. What does the casting look like?
Find Familiar. That's a really good point. So I assume, it's charcoals, incense, and herbs. Clearing the table to the sides while we wait for our pancakes, start making marks on the table in the general kind of visage of what I imagine a pseudo dragon to look like. And as I chant under my breath, I'm really actualizing what I want this creature to be to me. I want the pseudo dragon to be a friend, a confidant, an ally. And so in my mind, the picture's growing clearer and clearer and clearer, and the smoke from the incense coalesces and starts to form, first a claw, maybe like an eye that closes and opens again. Like small wings start to spread and vein out, and gradually a pseudo dragon materializes on the table.
Yeah, you see a kind of cat-sized small dragon, really, materializing, almost pulling itself out through the table itself, kind of putting its claws up. You can see the kind of the sinuous stinger as well from the tail as it kind of pulls itself up, and then looks at the two of you first, and then towards Fennec, and just kind of waits for a response from you.
And I'm gonna speak to it telepathically.
Okay.
And be like, "Hello, friend. What's your name?"
So I will say, as familiars are more an extension of your will rather than separate creatures with their own. You haven't trapped or summoned a thing. You've kind of made a thing that was in your head a reality. So I will say you are way more in command of this spirit than I am.
I will give you a name. Your name will be Ori.
It seems happy about the name, as it's kind of it's stealing some pancake from Inkblot at this moment in time.
I'll be like, "Good dragon, keep going."
I kind of not knowing what to do. I go,
This is Ori.
Good Ori. Can I get a side plate for my pancakes?
Sure. You see the middle-aged man who's been bringing you food walk past you, and you just hear him mutter, "Fucking wizards," as he walks past you and brings you another plate.
I divide my pancakes like into a third and 2/3, and end up giving 2/3 of it to Ori and keeping 1/3 for myself.
And I will pet Ori.
Yeah, Ori seems to be a little bit shy, a little bit pensive about being petted. Definitely scared of the other two.
If Ori's not, I will stop if Ori doesn't want to be petted.
No, from you it's fine, but she definitely seems to kind of a little bit scared of the others. You're fine.
I'll be like, "They're cool for now." Brilliant.
And coughs just a small kind of firebolt.
Good.
This is wonderful. This is something new. I have not seen you do such things before.
That's true. I guess we don't know everything about each other. Sits back provocatively.
Well, what would you like to know?
Why would they want to take the book from you?
It's not just a book. I found it a long time ago when I was just a little girl in an abandoned temple with a small library. Every book was filled with knowledge of everything, except for this one. My book was empty, every page. So knowing that we were only passing through this place, I began to write everything I could from the books into my tome, my book. And the pages never ran out, and sometimes I'm sure what I had written would disappear, but when I would try to find it again, it would always be there for me. And as I began to study with it more and fill it with more knowledge and my time in Moldgrave, it began to develop a personality, a semblance of sentience in a way. It speaks to me. It speaks to me. And I miss them.
It speaks to you. Like, outside of the context of spells, who is speaking to you?
I think it's the scholars of ages past. Learned men and women from centuries ago. A remnant of their knowledge is this tome. When I call forth, when we ask it questions, I think it is the scholars who used to have this book. It is them speaking to me.
When you ask your questions, you know, we always talk about the risk of you going insane. Are you saying that the scholars are the ones who might drive you insane?
Well, the magic is powerful. To send yourself back either through time or to the spirits of those from ages past, that is quite taxing on your mind and body. I don't believe it is them doing such things. I believe it is sending my spirit to them, which could cause it.
DM.
Mhm.
I should check my notes. I can't remember when I think the first time that we saw Ink communicate with the scholars in her book. I think I did a divine sense, and was her book like? Did I get I feel like I got some evil energy from somewhere. Was that from the book specifically, or kind of from the spell? Or...
So I will say, as you've all worked and lived and adventured together, sometimes you have felt an evil fiendish energy coming from the book. Sometimes you felt a more celestial energy come from the book.
Okay, interesting. Thank you. Ink, do you remember anything about you said it was a temple where you found the book? Did you ever know who that was a temple to, for example?
I cannot remember. I was just a little girl, and it was so long ago, and it was half in ruins. Gods were not something that I really... No is the answer. I do not know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Did you know other people were hunting for it?
No, I didn't know anyone else knew that it existed. I should have, really. It is a special thing.
Why your book? Why your book in particular? Because you're the protagonist of this D&D adventure.
One of. It is powerful. It has knowledge locked within it. Sometimes when I do not know and I'm looking for the answers and it's not within my mind, sometimes it can be found in the book. That alone is quite a powerful thing.
So it's kind of an imprint of your mind. It knows what you know.
I write everything in it. So
Does
in a way, yes.
Okay. So like, for example, all the stuff about Ivan and, prophecy and, kind of inside information about us, that's in the book?
Shorthand, little notes. It's more of research, not about you specifically. I have not been researching you, but knowledge of Ivan, of the what we found out about the dragon within the morning, the stasis it was in, musing on what that could be, the bane of Tharn. No, Thane, and various other things.
Tharn.
The Barn of Tharn. So yes, research to help us find the answers that we seek, I have written in there.
It's not really ideal, is it? I look at Stan.
No, I think that's fair to say.
I'm sorry.
How good are these pancakes?
They are very nice.
I was actually asking the DM. How good are they?
Oh, really good. It's actually kind of, it's a weird one. It's like going into one of those beer restaurants, or like where they had like weird tastings. Like they have like these sour beers and they have ones that like smell like flowers, and it's all these different things. And this pancake house seemingly has a lot of different kind of fillings with peas. Like, who would want that? But it's there. There's like fries. There's like a pig casserole in one of them. It's weird. But the ones that you have chosen out, it's really quite tasty and cheap.
You were right, Inkblot. These are great.
Oh, you're muted.
I thought I clicked off it. She says, like, stuffing her face with them.
Mm-hmm. To fill the silence awkwardness. Yeah.
Well, I am anxious to get to the site, to the bridge. Of course, when you're done with your food. And Orin as well. Ori.
You just hear kind of a rasping purr as I presume Fennec is currently petting Ori.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'll communicate the feeling telepathically of curling and like being supported wherever Ori wants to perch. So that's up to her. Yeah. How much can Ori fly?
Good question. I think 15 feet. Fly 60 feet. Yeah, so 15 feet walking, flying 60.
Okay, cool. So Ori can fly everywhere if they want to.
But yeah, Ori cannot talk per se. But she can kind of... She vocalizes animal voices, kind of. So there's...
She's got... Oh, sorry.
No, I mean, there's like, like a purr would be pleasure, hiss would be kind of surprise, unpleasant surprise. So that's the range of communication. She'll understand you, absolutely. And you understand what she wants, but yeah.
Yeah, she has limited telepathy as well.
Mhm.
So communicate simple ideas, emotions, and images within 100 feet. Yeah. So we can share sensations. Yeah. And also she can talk to other people as well.
Yeah, I would say like in terms of the telepathy, yes, she can kind of like but it's being telepathic with a very intelligent cat. It's not a clear like, this sucks, I don't have a job. It's more like, I feel insecure and I don't, it's like more general abstract ideas. But for you, yes, the eating of the pancakes, the pleasure is doubled because you are getting the sense of Ori eating the pancakes and wishing for more, as well as you yourself eating them.
Okay. Ugh, Ori's the best thing that's ever happened to me. When all of you die, I'll have a friend.
Do you say that out loud? Or
Nope.
just in your head?
Nope, that's in my head. Just a little treat.
All right. Anything else you wish to achieve in the pancake house?
Just a bit more reticent, awkward silence would be great.
Sure.
I'm down for that.
The rain falls, you eat your pancakes in silence?
Is the rain falling in every district? Or was it particularly focused down the bottom?
Make a perception check. It's difficult to tell in Sharn, especially walking through districts.
But Paranoid Stan and Zelaya did say the thing about how they thought it was going to be very rainy in the lower Dura or something like
True.
that. Which I didn't like us very much. What did I click? What did I roll? Huh. Nothing. Wasn't my connection.
Still nothing?
I'm reloading the page because I said
Okay.
I lost connection.
That's all right.
So, top quality entertainment for everyone.
Watch my reload screen.
Yeah. Okay. Ugh.
Yeah, with a 5, I will say, I mean, it does seem lighter where you're currently at, and you've walked for half an hour away from Calestin. You're not sure that it's specifically the Calestin district, but it might have just been the rain that's been tempered by this point. Following from the house, anything you wish to do for the pancake house?
So we're happy going to have a look at the bridge? Seeing if we can find anything.
Thank you, both of you. Fennec, I appreciate this.
Yeah.
All right. You walk through the streets of Sharn, passing many of the towers, going through many of the towers that I kind of imagine almost being like shopping malls, kind of all built in all these shops and stores with residential kind of areas at the very top of the spire. You walk through those, reaching street number 1037. Finding it, partially filled with people, people buying stuff from the carts. You still see the edge of the bridge or the street edge that's been kind of torn away from Fennec's eldritch blasts. But other than that, you don't see bodies. You don't see anything. You see kind of damage around. You see scorch marks from the fireballs. But people are shopping, buying fresh fish and such.
Shall we look around?
Yes, these were powerful spellcasters, but, perhaps they have left something here that hasn't been removed or taken away.
So where would you like to look first?
Well, perhaps where this person flew away. You said it was over here?
Yeah.
Let me start there. I'm just going to methodically go to that spot, just the major battle points. I just want to go to. I'm looking for torn cloth or footprints or scuffs, just anything. Anything that is remaining, if at all.
Yeah, everybody who's
And
looking. Yeah, go ahead.
As she does that, I would like to narrate what happened in those spots, beat by beat.
For like yourself or for everybody?
No, for Inkblot, from our perspective, what happens. You know, like, and if you look over this railing, you'll see where we both landed just above the street level and then assaulted somebody in a cabbage cart and destroyed their livelihood to fly back up to you. So, yeah. This is not fucking petty. Don't give me that look, Stan.
Oh, no.
It's important to be on the same page.
Panic, I was not giving you a look. I was just thinking about the cabbage man. And actually, we gave him a lot of money. So, it could actually have been a good day for him. I don't know.
Fine. I'll take that. Inkblot, you can put that in your pro column. Creating industry through risk-taking.
Take out her new spell book and go to the back and write it down. Cabbage man now rich.
But you might want to put some other things in the other side, like, you know, damage to the stonework of a centuries-old bridge.
Well, I you know what? Yes, okay.
Trauma.
She's going to turn away at that point and is just going to focus on investigating.
I'm going to keep talking. The only reason I agreed to come to the bridge was to make it very clear what happened here.
Okay. So Stan and Inkblot, I presume you're both looking. Make investigation checks as Fenix
regales you.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no point in me rolling an investigation check, but I'm going to anyway.
Go for it.
25.
25.
9.
Yeah, with a 9, you find some like discarded fish heads and a bunch of trash really from the night before. There's really nothing interesting, unfortunately.
I'm also just very distracted by what Fennec is saying and anxiously glancing between Fennec and Inkblot and the rising anxiety at the state of
And
this
here's where we
relationship.
jumped. And I turned around and I waited and I waited and I waited for you to jump behind us. And I believe we were both calling your name as well. I'll mentally instruct my pseudo dragon to do a search around.
Sure. Let the pseudo dragon roll investigation as well.
Investigation? Okay. Oh, investigation is intelligence, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Is there any perceptioning I can do?
I mean, I think you're busy. You're dealing with your new dragon. You're moralizing, I guess, would be the technically correct term for what you're doing. So I'm going to say that you're busy with this. With a 4, the fish heads that you found, Ori very quickly gulps up and eats, kind of flies through and takes them. Doesn't find anything more interesting at this juncture. With a 25 Inkblot, though, you go... Specifically, you go look through the areas where you saw your fallen enemies, the bodies, the people you fought and where they fell. And with a 25, you do find kind of scrunched up, almost at the edge of the bridge, kind of soaked through with the water. You find a parchment that reads the following. I don't know. Is it showing up?
Yeah, I've double clicked it and it's popped open for me.
Okay. For me, it's like... Oh, there you go. Okay. If I just resize it, then I can see it. It reads, The tiefling carries something of interest to us that we have failed to acquire thus far. A book of the closed circle. You have served me well so far. Soon your studies can continue. And it's signed, Master.
She sort of just stands in the rain, sort of hunched over the bit of parchment, reading. Closed circle. Closed circle. Closed circle. Does that ring a bell?
Make a history check.
I am going to say she rolls it with disadvantage.
Okay.
She doesn't have her book.
Mhm.
This is like... I don't know.
This is really up to you, because mechanically, the way your book stuff works is... I mean, you've read it, obviously, so...
Yeah, I read through my book, but like, I feel like every time she makes like history checks or like knowledge checks, she's thinking it, she's going, oh yeah, that's right, and flicks through, and sometimes just the information pops up, like when she rolls really well. So I kind of feel that without her book, like some of this recalling information isn't as good.
Sure. Feeling a little bit not as confident as well. Yeah, go for it.
So that is a 16.
With a 16. You faintly remember that there was a was it a magician's sect? A guild of some kind? Thus the name of it being Circle. But you're not, you're not sure. You're pretty sure that was destroyed a long time ago. It's one of those things that you've read in a history book, like past magicians' guilds or guilds formed by wizards, and you're pretty sure the closed circle was one of them. Yeah.
Studies.
Have you found something?
Yes, this parchment, I'm pretty sure it is referring to me and my book.
I don't like the sound of anyone who calls themselves master.
No. But the most interesting thing of this, I think, is the word studies. That is an institution, that is a university, that is a school, that is some group of learned men and women. Master. I do not know for certain, but I wonder if it is linked to one of the universities, either here or outside of Strashan. The only people who would have known about my book, I believe, would have been the people from Mulgrave. I'm going to grab the brooch, the Gem of Seeing, and cast True Sight. And just look around, see if I can see anything.
Make a perception check.
Uh, 12.
With a 12. No, nothing. Out of the ordinary, at least.
Okay.
There's a strange aura coming from Fennec as the pseudo dragon is kind of flying. You see the purplish magic aura, but it's all quite healthy and good.
Okay. We should speak to the The people in the cart, if they arrived here early this morning, they may have seen how the bodies were removed, or if there was any strange figures coming to collect the bodies, or... Fennec? Could you
Yep.
come with me?
Okay. All right. Let's go talk to some people. Is Stan coming too, or is Stan just... What are you doing?
I'm happy to come. I can also I've got on my my stick with 2 prongs on it. If you think it might be connected to Moorgrave, I think it's a long shot, because if they're at all sensible, they will have gone quite away from here quite quickly.
Yes,
But
I agree.
I could, I suppose, check if they do happen to be within 1,000 feet.
Yes. Let's try and see if we can find any more information, and... Yes, it's good.
Okay.
Fennec?
Talk first.
Yes. That letter that you were reading, whose is it? Whose is this letter? Is this the person who ran away, or is it somebody else, or would it... I mean, it technically would belong to Master, potentially. Could do.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the,
Scrying.
yeah.
Yeah, because I can definitely scry for the person who took the book, with some, I don't know them very well, so it won't be incredibly easy, but I'm just wondering who this letter is connected to and if it could be of some use.
Well, where was it? We won't know who it came from, but it was definitely one of them. Surely.
It could be someone who's dead, though.
Yeah.
And I assume you can't scry on dead people, or at least that wouldn't be helpful to us.
Well, I could, what I could do is I could scry on the person who's missing, and depending on my familiarity, that will help me intuitively or not. So I don't have to use this object to scry with. I will be targeting the specific likeness of the person as I can remember them.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I scry? Or shall we talk? Or what do we want to do first?
Perhaps, if it would be all right with you, Fennec, to speak to some of these people first, see if they saw anything.
Sure. And I approach someone?
Come
Sure.
with you.
You approach this half-orc, kind of
Oh, cool.
frizzy auburn hair there. She's still slightly exhausted from putting down another crate of goods. Looking rather skinny, young, stained kind of clothes from the work. You've noticed that she is barefoot for some reason. Bare feet. She is barefoot. Eastern Europe. But she looks up as you approach. She goes, "Yeah, how can I help you?"
Have you been here all day?
Oh yeah, just about. Around 7 I came.
Wait, do you get a lot of foot traffic through here?
No, I wouldn't set up my cart unless I did.
That's true. You see, I never sold produce before. I've just been on the other end of it, farming and the like.
Just been saving shine.
I'm Greg at the moment.
Oh, you're disguised. Never mind.
Yeah.
Just been Craig, huh?
Just been Gregging. So, are you here every day?
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Were you here yesterday?
Yeah, just about till 7. 7 to 7.
I was passing by yesterday and some completely wild things took place on this bridge.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. We still have edge of that bridge destroyed by some wizard or mage or something, but
hooligans.
Well, as I understand, there was some sort of a gang fight. That's what the watch told us.
So, who was it? Do you know? Because I know that there were some deaths. Did you see when those bodies were being taken away?
No, I went home, and when I came back, everything was as it was, except for there was some remnants of there being a battle. So I never really saw them being taken, or that there were bodies. People told me that there were.
Who?
Oh, and the watch, when did they come through and talk to everyone?
They talked to me, I would say, maybe an hour ago. I didn't have much to tell them, obviously. But, I think the bodies weren't here when I showed up, so. And I showed up at 7.
7, yes, 7. You're very punctual every day. It's like clockwork, 7 o'clock. But I mean, that's what business is about, isn't it? It's about reliability. And you know, I imagine once you get into the rhythm of it, 7 doesn't feel very early.
Well, it's just as a farmer grows their crops and takes care of what they're growing from the ground, an entrepreneur must similarly come to work every day and take care of what he or she is selling.
Wise. Yes, I think Stella, my associate, had some questions for you.
Hello, I am Stella. It's nice to meet you. So someone told you about these bodies. Did they see them themselves?
Yes. Well, there was one, really a beggar who stays nearby. We take care of him, give him some stuff if we have anything over to spare. And he stayed nearby, and he saw the whole ordeal. He told me that there was a fight, and that some people fell.
I would love to hear about it. Where could I find this beggar person?
Shows up usually in the evenings here, just when we're packing up, so we could give stuff away.
No idea where they go during the day?
I don't keep up with him in that regard.
Of course. And anyone here? Does anyone here arrive earlier than you in the mornings? Or are you first one here?
I'm sorry, are you part of the watch? I'm asking a lot of questions. I don't mind.
I'm just...
We're actually reporters.
Oh, I see. For which paper?
It's a new paper we've recently established, but we've got ties with, with Reddit and House Ryan and the Boromar, so we're feeling quite confident. It's just, Illyra wanted a news outlet which had a more city-minded approach to current events.
What's the name of the paper? I'll keep an eye out on it.
Yeah, the name of the paper is Jitsi Upwards.
Jitsi Upwards?
Yeah.
An interesting name.
Thank you. It has meaning.
Well, as long as you're happy, I suppose.
Well, no, as long as you, our future readership, are happy. Anyway, Stella was saying.
Yes, anyone here arrived before you who perhaps saw a little bit more or knows a little bit?
I tend to be the first. The watch was here waiting for me. Waiting for anybody to show up and talk.
I see.
And we all talked. I did hear Evan, he brings in the cabbages for the cart as well. Just for my neighbor. He had some tales to tell, I heard.
I'm sure he did. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Do you want some sea bass?
Yes, how much?
It's up to you. You can have all of my stock.
I'm a small eater, so perhaps just one.
I'll take some. I'll do a roast. I used to cook with sea bass all the time.
She starts packing up 3 sea basses, see bass.
Where are these from? Where did you catch these?
From just here, Dagger,
Oh,
nearby from
yeah.
Shack. No, it's quite clean.
Okay.
If you go out a few miles from Sharn, it's quite clean.
It must be nice getting out on the water regularly. Living in Sharn, it's oppressive. You must know.
I don't get on the water myself, but my husband does all the fishing.
Okay. All right. Are you feeling confident about how your business is going to be impacted by everything that's happened? Are you a bit worried, or?
Well, for the little folk, I feel like nothing much ever changes. Unfortunately, we're well, I will say this much: it's been safer ever since the dark matters with the Dusk and everything went through. A little bit harsher, possibly, but safer.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, I know this city can make you feel swamped for sure, and like this force is out of your control. Of course,
Yes.
not just market forces, but
Yes,
you're doing good work. Like, don't call yourself a little folk. You're an essential part of this city. It's just this city makes you feel small.
Oh, absolutely. 3 crowns, please. As she hands you the packed bass. Kind of ready to end this chit chat as sellers are after they get the money. They're a little bit like, okay, yeah, sure, we can talk, but yeah, I'm looking out for other business now.
I'll give her 5 crowns.
Okay.
Give him.
You walk away from the fish stall.
All the best.
And to you.
And then I'll shape some water and wrap it around the fish in ice and freeze it.
Nice.
So that the fish doesn't go bad as we walk around.
Kind of an encasing of ice. Yeah.
Before we go, I will awkwardly kind of open up this book, and I'll put my hand on it, and I will ritually cast, but using, I forget which feature it is. I think it's my Awaken Spellbook feature to cast this ritual as an action to cast Detect Magic, and I'll just walk around the area just to see if I can, just see if I can detect anything.
Is there anything specific that you're looking out for?
Just like the note, like anything is sort of anything magical is left behind. If they dropped anything, if anything hasn't been picked up by the Shan Watch, anything that looks like it could be them or them adjacent.
Yeah, so I would say going through everything, detecting magic. Beyond an older goblin who kind of walks up to you, offering to pierce your ears and telling you that he knows magic and it won't be painful.
I'll take it.
Sure, you want to do this at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. She kind of sets up her stall, and you do see, as this is happening, Plot, you do see that she does have kind of minimal abilities in magic, and seems to kind of cast an anesthesiac-like spell. And it doesn't hurt at all, Fennec, as she pierces you. Well, actually, we'll come back to that. I will say, Inkblot, you don't notice anything beyond that with the detect magic.
Okay.
Fennec, as she reaches for Craig's ears, they are kind of differently shaped, and it seems like she is having a real trouble actually grabbing the material, because you are basically casting a shell upon yourself. Yeah. So there is this kind of she is confused, and she kind of looks up to you, unsure what the hell is going on.
And I say in Goblin, friend, I totally forgot, and I'll undisguised self my head.
She kind of looks up at you and goes, You're paying. And Pierce.
What? I
Pierce
thought this was for free.
No.
As she's doing it to her.
Not at all.
I will pay for him.
Okay.
Thanks.
She looks all of you up and down and goes, Sovereign. 1 sovereign.
Fine.
No. In Goblin. Friend, are you really going to pay your sovereign for that? I could have done it with my own fish hawk if I'd wanted to. I just wanted the benefit of talking to you and making your day. So, wow. Okay. Commit to it, Bob.
Making your day. Here I am. Making your day.
Friend, I'd say half that price and we've got a deal.
Make a persuasion.
Okay.
The most important check of the game.
100%.
Oh. She holds up a smallish menu that you see has been kind of clearly erased and rewritten many times over. And it does say 1 sovereign for piercings.
All right. Inkblot, you heard the lady. Disguise self and walk away. Thanks.
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry.
You pay the goblin. The goblin kind of packs everything up onto this backpack.
Are you getting the piercing?
Yeah, I've
got
had it.
Oh, you've had the piercing.
Had it.
Okay, I pass over the sovereign.
She packs everything up. You see her kind of jump on top of the edge of the bridge. You see kind of strange bat-like wings pop out of the backpack as she just glides down next to the next street. Basically, you see her suddenly coming to a halt and falling onto the next street. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Very good.
All right.
Action packed.
To the library or somewhere. Who knows?
Yeah.
Pancakes?
And we're back.
Welcome back. Thanks for waiting. Natural performer. I don't know if you can tell.
Very natural.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, as the goblin glides away from the street, anything you wish to achieve on this street elsewhere? You do have a busy evening.
Oh yeah, thank goodness I got 3 sea bass.
Cook those. Just gonna get a barbecue now.
Feed everyone.
Well, it is a
Well, the
potluck,
Boromar.
so yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I
Oh, Inkblot will pop back to the pancake shop and get some pancakes for the potluck.
Yep.
Amazing. Actually,
Roleplay
we should
with
just.
that.
What do you think people would like? What about allergies? So another thing is, why don't we ask them to just set up a stall at the memorial? Because they'll make a ton of money.
Yes, if they have done such things before, they will.
Ask them.
Okay. Okay.
So I will say, as you prepare for the evening event, there's a couple of things that you can do. Number one being visiting the houses, and all of them, asking them to attend. The city council, you've basically visited already. The Boromar you've visited already. Talking to the city watch, letting them know that there's a gathering happening. Visiting religious institutions like the Silver Flame. Many different things. Sure, it's up to you.
The tone.
I'm going to talk to the Silver Flame, though, dead Stan. And I'm going to say, Stan would really appreciate it if you could do a ceremony. Would have really appreciated. Whoops. So that would be great. Something like 30 minutes long with as much scripture as possible.
Make a persuasion check. If you're starting to do this, if you're going around town, this will be a thing that you're going to do over the course of the day. You don't have to do this, obviously. But Fennec goes off and starts doing this.
Well,
but if there's anything else anybody else wants to achieve before the evening?
Yes. You go first.
This would be in a conversation with Ink and Fennec, probably earlier in the day. There was one thing I wanted to say first, just in terms of this evening. I know it's going to be really strange and probably really uncomfortable and weird in lots of ways. I wanted to establish first off, I don't think there's any need for either of you to perform grief today, if that makes sense. Let's be honest, people will be coming, but most of them don't really know me. They'll be coming for the party and because someone kind of famous has died. And I feel like that's okay. That is maybe good, even. I don't know, maybe we can make it an upbeat thing and focused on our political objectives. And maybe not focus so much on having to, think about the death and the grief and have to show that to other people at all. I don't think they'll be looking for that anyway. And she obviously aims that mainly at Fennec and trying to read how he is doing.
Would you like to insight check me?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
You've not lied, so it's just normal. 18.
Yeah, what would 18 reveal?
Fennec's like, okay. Yeah. Celebration. A little bit of wryness. A little bit of like, oh yeah, you don't want us to perform grief. Okay, sure. Mention of the political thing. Shrugged. Did not agree with that. Political motivation all the way. um, yeah, but yeah, fairly on board, but could go rogue.
Sure.
Will go rogue.
I had a thought, and I don't. Do we have a theatre company coming? Is that a thing?
Yes, we do. We have an orchestra and opera performers and dancers, I think. So
Dancers you haven't organized, but what Ilira Boromer said is that she knows somebody working in the Great Opera.
I had an idea, and it might be a bit much and not work. So you need to tell me if this is terrible. Have we, how did we leave things with Zelaya, Lyranda? Did we set a date for when we'd re-meet with her?
she's coming to the memorial.
She is.
Yeah.
Okay, this might be a bit, did you ever have that folk story about a Danish prince who's not Danish, a prince?
What's a Danish?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
what
it's
that
one
word
of those
means either.
pastries.
Oh, so like a pancake.
Yeah, like family was involved in pastries or something, and then his father died, and he thought it was his uncle, but to find out if it was,
he thought his uncle killed his father?
I think so. Yeah. Did you?
Why
did
was
you not
his-
have this story?
I've never heard this story. Why would his
Okay.
dad's... Was it his dad's brother?
Yes, I think so.
So a brother kills another brother.
Mm-hmm. But then.
Go on.
But he wasn't sure. Oh no, the ghost. That's it. There was a ghost.
There's a
A
ghost.
Danish
and-
ghost?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like
I
someone
think-
ate a Danish and then it came back to kind
Perhaps
of life.
it was poisonous and the Danish killed the man.
Is that what you meant?
I mean, this is now better than what I was trying to say. So
I feel like we are interrupting the story.
Is this a true story?
I really don't. Maybe it's an Eldeen Reaches thing that was going round. That was like a big. I don't. Maybe it did happen. There's lots of things happen in the Eldeen Reaches. My point was, you wanted to work out. You wanted to work out if it was true that his uncle had murdered his father. So he put on a play.
Oh, weird.
Of the
Indirect.
murder of his father.
Okay.
And then his uncle was all like, "Oh my god! Oh no! Yeah, I remember that because I did that." And like it all came out in the open. And then I think other people died or something. I get a bit hazy, and there's some pirates or something at some point. But the point is,
What?
yeah, I'm forgetting myself. So what if rather than like telling Zelaya what happened with Stan? Because didn't you say that they were going to act out stories from Stan's life?
Ah.
So
Yes, let's put on a play.
What if? Yeah, we meet her at the memorial and get the wheel and say, okay, yeah, we'll tell you who the person was, but first let's watch this play. And then in the play, it's like, Stan was born in this little place in the Eldeen Reaches and didn't know much about her mother and could do these things with the air and stuff. And then, I mean, it really would just be flair and a bit extra.
I love it.
No,
Well, it doesn't seem
might
like flair.
annoy
It seems
her.
like a whole plot point.
Yeah. I guess so. Would that be too much? I just really don't
No.
like her, and I think that would really annoy her. And you know, it seems like she wants bad stuff.
So
So
You keep trying to convince me. I have already been convinced. I'm with the
Okay.
plan.
great.
I have to put my hand up and say I don't know quite what the plan is. So you
It's
want to
put on a play.
put on a play
Uh-huh.
about Stan's life, and it is
Which-
about when Stan finds out her father isn't her father, and then we gauge her reaction.
Yeah, basically. Or like all these things that very clearly show what, because she knows that the thing she's looking for was like taken to the Eldine Reaches, and then by a guy in a top hat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Fennec.
Oh, it's just I have a pitch for the play.
Okay.
Structurally, here's what we do. It's not going to be chronological, okay? So we'll start with your death and we'll go backwards. That's not
Okay.
the important bit. That's not the important bit. The important bit is to climax on the story of your birth. And it's not going to be a literal account. It's not going to be like a documentary in any way. What it is, it's like all of this history has come from this place. This amazing person had an amazing birth. And then that's when we play act that moment of your mother coming back pregnant to your father, and speaking about this wonderful heir being born. And then we have the loss of your mother. And then whoever's playing you comes out, and we have rising music, and we'll light you from behind, the actor you. And we'll say something like, once in a generation, a savior is born, or something like that, something like that. And then we'll all turn to look at Celaya.
I mean, I assume most people watching won't have much context for it, but I mean,
And
us, yeah.
what reaction are we hoping to get from Celaya? Like, what are we just trying to go? She'll go, "Oh no, they know what I'm doing here." Like, I do enjoy a performance, and I am just juggling with the point.
Yeah.
Not me.
I take that
Choose
point.
me.
Oh,
Choose me.
Yeah, Fennec, yeah.
Okay. The point is. So the point is.
say the point is again.
What the point is, that I'm going to get to the point in just a moment, is that no, but actually, Celaya really needs to be destabilized. She's a sturdy oak, deep roots. She always thinks she knows what's going on. We barely managed to kind of convince her last time. This is a great way of showing her what's going on, of communicating the truth of the matter, and then being able to negotiate from that position of knowledge with the finer details. So we'll do a big spectacle that doesn't say all the facts, and then we'll negotiate with the concrete examples of it.
Hold on. Now I'm confused. With Celaya, we are trading the knowledge that Raya.
No.
No, well, you know what I mean.
Okay.
That, in whispered, hushed tones, looking around, making sure there's no one following, looking up. What the information that we are trading is that, and I'll point to Raya, and that there is no point on getting the man in the top hat because. No, see, I don't know what the point is.
So, I think the information we're trading is that Stan was the heir of House Lyrandar. My thought, I kind of just want a bit of a power move against House Lyrandar. I suppose is the instinct to be like, we know way more than you think we do. And also, this thing that's really important to you is gone, and the heir is dead.
Because they
Okay.
don't know
Yeah.
that Stan is the heir. But
Yeah.
we know Stan was the heir.
And
Yeah.
what will also happen is that they'll realize that all that Stormfront bullshit and factions and hiding of what are they called? The things we're going after that like we're in Sherlock Cole and stuff.
The portals, the
Yeah, the portals
Yeah.
are tied up in the reason their heir is now dead. That's an incredible bargaining leverage to set up and to open. The fact that we have that knowledge as well without having to say we know this.
And incidentally, I feel like I told you, but I don't know. I have asked Ash to go.
Out with you.
Well, that was yes. That after that, which now seems weird in contrast, I asked him to go to Stormfront and to try and get in with the house, so that when they find out that I'm dead, he can work out maybe what the deal with the heir was, and maybe see how they react if and when they think that the heir is dead. See what they try and do, and maybe get a sense of what even the heir is, because I still really know nothing about that.
That's very smart. Well done.
I hope so.
So how-
will see.
So when did you and Ash decide this?
I mean, when he came round, you know.
Oh, when he came round. Right, so we were all there.
Did I not tell you? It's also Ella metagaming.
You
No, you
did
didn't.
tell this
Didn't.
once. One time you did say.
She didn't say.
I believe she did say one time that Ash is going to find out stuff.
She told, yeah, but she didn't say what exactly. She was like, he's doing me a favor.
Sure. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that okay?
Of course it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the play thing. Oh,
Can I ask just quickly, why did the brother kill the other brother?
I think he wanted. So the other brother was like in charge of something. I guess like the business with the pastries, or something. And then so he wanted control, and also he married the mother. That's another part of it.
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the main guy said something along those lines too.
I mean, if they want to be together, why not just break up, you know?
Yeah.
Sure, it'll be messy and tense, but nobody needs to die.
Yeah.
So.
Can I just say,
Mm-hmm.
The rain is driving me crazy.
Yeah, and it's pouring, and it's annoying.
I think I've turned down that sound effect.
The ambient. Yeah, if you go into your settings and turn down ambient.
Okay.
But you will also will not hear all the amazing sound effects I do sometimes. But that's fine.
I hear most of them. Turn it up a little bit.
Where is the ambient?
It's in your global volume controls at the very top where you click on your note thing. You'll find it.
Okay.
Or
yeah, I found it. All good.
Gotcha.
Thanks.
I can also just stop it. But
Oh, that's so much nicer. Oh
as the rain falls, annoyingly, what is everybody doing? Do you wish to focus on the event, the wake, or do you wish to do something completely different?
Well, I want to organize this play, and that's going to take a while, you know.
Well, you're going to the Silver Flame as you already did roll for it. That's a thing that you're doing.
But we didn't have that conversation before I went.
Do you want to rethink that?
Yeah, I'm not going to the Silver Flame. I'm not going to do something to annoy Stan when there's actual scheming to do.
All right, sure. What do you wish to do?
Well, it's Stan's call in terms of like, how do we make this play happen? How do you want it to happen?
I don't know anything about plays, so I don't really know how we sort that out. I mean, what you described sounded really cool. And honestly, if it is slightly not accurate to me, that would probably make me feel better. Whether that's, necessarily what's important, I don't know. But I'd be down for something theatrical that will basically say, fuck you to House Lyrandar.
What's the coolest thing you've ever done?
I mean, when I rode on a dolphin, that was quite cool. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, we'll end on that.
Cool.
We'll start with you becoming the savior of Shan. We'll end on the dolphin thing. And right before the dolphin thing, in our all is lost moment, we will have your well, actually, I don't know. I think we have your death, then your birth. And then we'll have you riding on a dolphin.
Cool.
That's just my instinct. Happy to have other ideas.
I trust you. I don't know anything about this stuff, so that sounds great.
Oh, I don't either. I mean, apart from stories told at the tavern.
You seem to have an instinct for it, though. That's good.
Yeah, well, when you listen to people rattle on about their lives enough time, you get a sense of how to curate that.
That's true.
Yeah, so I guess we'll need to come make some dolphins and get some actors and, I mean, write a script as well.
They could probably improv, or make it up, can they?
They'll need a little bit of, some rough parameters. We don't want them to improv out of the actual, reveal,
True. Ink, before we jump into that, did you want to go to Moorgrave and do a bit of looking around? Or
Oh yeah, the book.
Finnick, can you scry on a person that you have never met?
Well, I did meet that person in a way. Well, I saw them at least, so I can scry on them.
No,
I believe
someone else. Or if you had just seen their picture, or their portrait, or if you just knew their name.
I can. I won't be as good at it as if I knew them firsthand, but have you heard of them? Do you know them?
Yes.
So if you could describe them to me, I could scry for them.
Have you heard of Larian Moorgrave, the master of Moorgrave University?
Have I?
Yeah, I would say you've heard the name, definitely. Yeah, he is he's the director of the entire institute.
Yes, I've heard of him.
I've been racking my brains, and he refers to himself as the master of Moorgrave. He signed that letter as master. He would have... I don't know him personally, But if he is sending people off into the far reaches of Eberron and they're getting trapped in the realms for the sake of artifacts, what is to stop another research trip to come after this book? The book.
Do you have the ability to render a likeness of him for me?
I could make myself look like him.
Great. If you could do that, I would appreciate it.
Where are we at the moment?
Wherever you really want to be. You've been walking the streets. If you want to find an alley, you can do that.
Yeah, just any quiet corner.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yes, I will make myself look. How do you say his name? Larian. Larian.
Oh, Larian Studios.
Just 1 second here.
Shout out.
Larian.
Larian, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Larian and Aya Moregrave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll make myself look like him. From the picture that I've got of him that you sent me yonks ago, Mateus. Balding man, like completely bald on top, but has long grey hair, long grey beard. Actually, I don't know if this is a picture of him, but I assume it is. It's on the sheet you sent me a very long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a mad wizard is the best I can explain it.
Sure.
Old, like sort of 70s, thin.
Very wild eyes, immediately kind of focusing on you, peering down into the depths of your soul, really.
I'll look like that. And as I do that, how much interaction did I have with him, if any, at Moregrave?
I will say during your studies, very little. I don't think you would have you would have seen him at like some functions and such. Exchanged a couple of words as Wild Cloak introduced you, but nothing one-on-one, nothing kind of like that. So very, very little.
Okay.
Give me the letter as well, just in case.
I'll hand the letter.
Okay.
And I will get out my crystal ball and I will do a little scry, and my eyes will roll forward with mist on them, and I will sink into my eyes and thus into the crystal ball.
All right.
Scrying time. Come on, grab your friends. Go to very distant lands.
So as you walk through the mist, the fog again, the massive kind of cliffs of something material drifting past you. It's almost like being on the north, like sailing on near the North Pole and seeing just massive ice capes fly past you. You're not sure what there is. You're not sure what this land is really. And there's all this potential. We'll take a quick break and come back.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Have you stopped?
Yes. You are scribing for Larian Morgrave, the head of the Morgrave Institute. And Fennec, you find yourself in a large room. Not quite sure about its dimensions, but from just the acoustics of it, from the kind of sense of scale, you understand that you're in almost some kind of a gallery, some kind of a museum exhibition room. And you find Larian, the balding, slightly wild looking elderly wizard, stood in front of a rather massive skull with horns, as if just staring at it, eyes unfocused. He is thinking, and he is also talking to someone down the room whose words you do not hear. You see Larian kind of grasp something and throw it aside, and you do actually recognize Inkblot's book, old book. And you hear Larian's words. She is stronger than... Perhaps she has already discovered what she has. There is still hope. She will be curious, possibly imprisoned by its guardian. If there's anything we've learned, it is that the guardian is rather specific about its rules. It is what destroyed the closed circle. Ironic, isn't it? The closed circle closing their own circle. He kind of looks back to somebody, and you hear a response. You're not quite sure what they say, but you hear Larian's response. No. We will wait for a time and try again. Has there been any word from Wild Cloak? You hear another response, and you hear Larian say, shame. And with that, he walks away. You hear the book being picked up by the second person. But other than that, you're kind of, your sphere of influence rotates the skull, the massive... Well, make a nature check for me, Fennec. Yeah, you're not sure what the creature is. It must have been a huge thing. It's larger than you are. Its head is larger than you are. But beyond that, the scene ends. You are engulfed in mist, and you find yourself in a back alley in Sharn.
And then I will kind of come back to myself, and I will begin to describe what I saw and heard, including the strange creature, and I'll try to allude to everything that was said. Yeah. And also I saw the book, so. And also there was a her. I feel like it's maybe your mentor.
Del Wildcloak?
Oh, yep. Yep, Wildcloak, that's the one.
She is there with him?
I'm going to... you will hear
Okay.
what Mom... I'm too tired to say it again.
Okay, fair. Okay. All right. Oh, God. That is going to be difficult to get back.
What type of protections does Larian have?
Whatever the university have, and probably, well, more of what we saw on the bridge.
Where does the money for Mulgrave University come from?
Would I know?
I mean, there's definitely donations. There's many wizards who go on to bigger and greater things who become very rich in employ of different houses, different governments who can donate back. You already know about Morgrave extensively stealing and selling on kind of black market artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like the black market trade, who is that orchestrated by in the city?
I mean, you wouldn't know the name specifically. I would presume that Inkblot stayed away from that.
Yeah, she wouldn't really. She was in her study most of the time.
We wouldn't presume it's someone like Alira. Alira would probably know though.
She might do.
Possibly.
I just prefer a structure where we don't go in spells flying. We go in and we're like, hey, we'll compromise your money in some way if you don't give us back the book. And also, you'd better change the tactics by which you deal with us. Because we're the motherfucking saviors of Shan.
I like that too.
Who is the assistant to Larian? Would I know?
Well, I would say from the people that you know, you would know that Ashgrave actually is quite involved with Morgrave, specifically of procuring different items for the university.
Who we have invited back to the whatchamacallit, to the thing. Okay.
Perhaps that's... Is Alira coming too? Or could she maybe not make it? There might be the opportunity to have those conversations.
We super pressured her into coming. She should be coming.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. I tuned out during the play when I had put everything together.
Understandable. At least we know where it is now. We have some answers. I know it doesn't make it any easier in a lot of ways, but we can start planning now.
And I can't see it leaving Shan anytime soon. Perhaps going on the black market, but I feel like whatever we do, if you're still willing to help me, we will need to do it soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any point in going to the university now? And if it just happens to be lying on a... go in invisible and... Or is that stupid?
It feels like they're not just going to leave the book lying around. If you think otherwise, I would bow to your expertise, but it sounds like it's under quite careful watch at the moment.
I got Inner Sanctity lair vibes.
Okay. The description of sort of like the idea of where she is, does that ring a bell? Did it at least have Morgrave University feel?
Yes, I would say that definitely. It could possibly be you've heard of a kind of an inner, hallways leading up to master of the Morgrave Institute is kind of filled with different artifacts, different kind of things from time, arcane, interesting items. It seems like a hallway leading into his offices, basically.
And his office, would I have been there? Would I have gone, like, do I know where his office would be?
I would say that you would know how to get there through the university. You know that there is kind of a large glass dome and a large kind of hall where all the executive offices are. That's kind of covered by, I guess, a glass ceiling. And that Morgrave...
Yeah, it is, just like most universities, am I right?
I'm not sure what the tone is, but yes. And...
That was for Ella, so...
Okay, I'll ignore it, I guess. If it's for Ella, I'll ignore it.
Back to sleep.
So yeah, I would say that you have the general idea that it's which tower it is in.
Okay.
This is something that's important to you, and I'm very happy to be guided by what you want to do, Ink, and we'll support you and help as we can. I feel like there's not any benefit of being too hasty to act. I think we'll want to have a really clear plan.
Okay. Well, I suppose let's get through tonight and then reevaluate.
We get as much information as we can this evening because the who's who of Shan should be showing up. So
Yeah.
Okay. So this play, what do we need?
Do we want one of us to maybe? Do we want to delegate? I don't know what else we need to do.
Do you think the opera singers and performers would be good at improvisation if we give them sort of the backbone of it? They'll be able to...
I think personally, we should recruit Reddit and his network to improvise. They're natural performers. They're plugged into what happens in the city. They know it sells. I think I can direct a troupe of them to do this story justice. And also, I've thought about the thematic through line, which is the difference between becoming who you were destined to be versus who you were and who we will celebrate together.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be you rising above destiny to become an even better version of yourself outside of what's expected of you.
Okay. That sounds like you have a vision.
Yes. Now I need to find a red wig
full
somewhere.
faith in you.
Okay, great. I'm so glad. Yeah. I mean, I loved that play we saw. What was the name of it?
Oh,
I wasn't there.
going back to the old notes. Was it the Grand Stage Theatre?
It's like...
The Changeling's Prophecy.
That's right.
Of
The
course.
Changeling's Prophecy.
That's
It's a great
right.
inspiration for me. Very beautiful piece of work.
Mm.
You know, I think I'm going to take some of that feel into your story, actually. The epic, you know what I mean? The stagecraft involved. That sense that anything can happen.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm going off to direct and devise a play.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
What can I do to help?
So we could go and talk to the houses.
Mm-hmm.
We could. There's religious institutions we could talk to. It might make sense to get some particularly Boulder Eye people.
You can try and find the bard that Fennec mentioned as well from the train.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, getting kind of goods, ale and food for this party, basically, that's happening.
Probably some food would be useful to get. I mean, I'm happy to take care of that, unless, I don't know, do you have any thoughts?
Yes. When you think about your... when you think about this event, what do you see in your head?
I really try to see it as totally divorced from being actually about me, because otherwise that is deeply uncomfortable and upsetting. So just like a fun party.
Okay.
Because basically, actually, most people don't know me, and that's good because then they won't actually be upset. Really, we can make it more about, you know, the fact that there are these terrible things going on that they need to know about, and the fact that we should all be nice to each other because Boulder Eye says so, and that is just a good thing to know.
Okay.
And you know, and then in the background, just we get to get people we want to talk to in the same space. So maybe some music or fun stuff would be good, just as it's cover for those conversations as well.
Okay. Well, I will see if I can hire another band, and see if I will speak to the pancake stall and other restaurants in the area and see if we can rouse together some people who will be able to profit from the event as well as support for you. I will do that.
Thank you, Ink. And I'm sorry that all this stuff is going on when you've got so much to think about and worry about yourself. We are going to be there for you.
Thank you.
You know that.
But I think you are both right. There's no point in me, as much as I want to, burst through those doors and take what they have taken from me. I will wait. I was rash on the bridge, and I don't intend to be that again. So, and you never know, with Professor Ashgrave coming, may offer some help.
Absolutely.
So,
Okay.
I will say, with Fennec, let's start with you, as you're going to meet with the contact in the Opera House.
No, I'm going to the Street Kids.
Oh, you're going to the Street Kids. Okay, sure. What are you saying to them as you meet up with Reddit, who's like, oh boy, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, I'll pay you and anyone you can rally together a sovereign.
Okay.
Okay. To come and act in this play we're devising about Stan's life.
Do we have to memorize lines? Because that's like a thing that we're not gonna do. It's a union thing.
Okay, well, look, you don't have to memorize. You're really good at knowing stories and telling stories.
That's the thing. The only lines we're like allowed to memorize are the lines on the newspaper headlines that we're yelling out. So, like, technically, we can't memorize other lines.
Here, I have an idea. I'm going to go to the newspaper and I'm going to get them to print the script. So we'll get through that with a loophole. And then you'll be able to read aloud the lines on the newspaper and present them.
You think the Corenberg Chronicle is going to print a full play?
Yep.
Okay. We'll be there.
Okay, off I go to the Corenberg Chronicle. Also, my heart rate keeps dipping. Like, it's going from 60 to like 30. So I'm pretty sure
That's
I'm
good.
dying.
No, that's a good sign.
Oh.
No, that's a really good thing.
Let's go to the Corenberg Chronicle.
Fennec
Your
the
mum's
zombie.
home, right?
Yeah.
All right.
In the other room.
I would say, as you try to make your case to the Corenberg, we're not going to roleplay every one of these. Make a persuasion check with disadvantage to get them to print a full play in their.
Wait. Can I role play a little bit? Listen, you maggots. You better print this play, otherwise I'll come back here with all my rich friends and I'll rip your guts out, not metaphorically, through your mouth, and then we're going to print that for tomorrow's paper. Have I got that right? I lost my best friend. They're dead. I'm a loose wire.
Sure, you can intimidate with disadvantage.
Thanks.
And quite a high DC, I will tell you, to get a newspaper to print a play.
Oh, what a shame. It's not the worst it could be.
With an 11, I will say that you do waste a couple of hours trying to, number one, get seen, and number two, to get in front of somebody who is in charge of stuff. Then it kind of gets a little bit violent. The Sharn Watch is involved in it. You don't get any clear promises, especially because the play is now in a couple of hours, and the newspaper isn't gonna print a nightly thing about just with a play.
Okay, new plan. It's a one-person show.
You tell to the newspaper?
Oh, have I convinced them to print the play?
No, what you have convinced them to do is to help you print basically very basic printing to get the play out there. So for actors to have lines to learn, just very basic printing services that they will provide for you.
Brilliant. Back to Reddit with the newspaper play.
Okay. Sure, I will say that you will kind of give that out, and Reddit will run out with that. Stan, Raya, what are you doing?
So Ink's doing food and sorting out.
Food and band.
Food and band. I will go to the, I guess, sovereign host places, but specifically Temple to Balderai, and ask them if they will come along and support the event, attend and have a presence there.
Sure. You go to the High Hope, the Temple District of Sharn. Make a persuasion check as well as you walk amongst the most impressive temples in Sharn. You can see definitely kind of devotees filling the streets. People in kind of more poor people as well, walking towards the temples and getting food and different kind of services from them. You kind of try and make your way inside as well. You are seen, as you discuss this, with a kind of a high-ranking cleric. They have heard of this idea, and they understand that the city council has asked for help in this. What is specifically that you're asking for from them?
Really for them to attend, because Balderai was very important to Stan and is very important to people who knew Stan. If you could really attend and make sure that Balderai's presence is felt. Join in the festivities yourself, because more joy and camaraderie in the community is only a good thing. So I think not asking them to provide any specific services, although they can bring stuff. Oh, maybe bring something for the potluck, because that's kind of the point of the potluck. If you could just come and have a nice time with us all, that would be lovely.
We will send one of our cardinals, of course. The Archbishop is quite busy.
Sure, that's totally understandable. I hope you have a lovely day. See. She'll walk out feeling suspicious at the lack of Balderized warmth in some of these fancy places.
Mm-hmm. The Silver Flames Church in particular is very harshly lit in terms of like you walk in, you don't even have a shadow. You just feel kind of overwhelmed.
I don't think I walk in.
Okay. Sure.
I would not invite the Silver Flame.
Okay,
I don't
gotcha.
like them.
Okay. But yeah, from the other churches, from the other kind of, even from the kind of forge spirit that the lower districts pray to, you get a sense that there's cardinals that will show up, priests and parishioners who will show up. Inkblot.
Yes, I will. Feeling a little bit lost and not quite sure what to do, we'll go back to the pancake place.
Of course.
And see if I can get them to open a stall at the event tonight.
Okay.
At the wake. I will, what can he go? Hello, we were in here earlier and we were so enamored by your, well, I wasn't, because I look like Inkblot now. My associate was. You see, we work for Gooseneck and Sons.
You're the one with the dragon, aren't you? The wizards.
I am not, but my associates were here. Yes, they were here. They enjoyed the pancake so much, and there is a memorial service to commemorate Stan's death, one of the saviors of Shan. They felt such a connection to the pancakes and the memories of Stan flooded back, so they felt it would be nice to have your pancakes at the event.
We have different franchises. Obviously, we've got some people in Thrain and on there. This pancake house is becoming quite international.
Yes,
really.
Everywhere, every corner I've seen it. Well done.
Make a persuasion check as you talk to them.
Oh no. So,
well, for I would say 5 Galifar, I think we can make enough food to fulfill this event completely.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you are also welcome to set up if you have a roaming vehicle of pancake selling to bring that there. You perhaps could make more. There's a lot of people are attending.
And it's in a week from now?
No, it's tonight.
I see. Well, then it would need to be at least 7.
At least 7, yes, of course. And I will give 7 Galifar.
Okay. With that, I will say that you do procure the services of the International House of Pancakes.
And do I have time to go find a band to find music?
I will say with a 3, no. You don't have that time.
Nowhere else I can go? Okay.
No, I will say that you kind of, the negotiation breaks out, and you, that's the time it takes you. It takes you a couple of hours to get this done. I will say all of you, as you kind of reconvene near Sparrow, near to the one square that you have near Sparrow, where the anvil is, where the Silver Mist Theater is. Just count all the rolls. So I will say after some time, the first kind of few parties start gathering on the square in the location. Many of them bringing their own food and drink, as it is a potluck.
We've set up tables around.
Soon enough, also chairs are brought, tables are brought as well from kind of restaurants and cafes and such. Small circles of music and dancing and singing break out. And then like after an hour or 2 hours after that, you start seeing these very professional men and women walk in. And you get a sense that with the Boromar rather, and Bolderai backing you, that the word of Stan's demise has seemingly spread throughout Charn. And as you oversee the production of this fake funeral, or half right funeral, half true, you start to see kind of troves of very nervous looking Sharan watchmen coming in as well, as if ready for something. And before you can wonder like what they are, why there's so many of them, you start hearing talking and laughter and music as you see hundreds of people flocking to the square. Even though there's ample seating for, what you thought there would be, you see people arriving with their own chairs and tables, literally with their own food and drink. Everyone arriving early, slightly. Fennec, you start setting up a stage. You kind of getting ready for the play that you've definitely figured out and written down. As well as...
I'm going to mention to Ink that at a certain point, I'm going to need her to turn me into a dolphin.
That I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, if you could give someone a red wig, that would be great. Whichever kid plays Stan.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, as you discuss this, already there's you see a youngish gnome who like, oh, a wig, yeah, sure, and kind of runs back and runs towards you and hands out a wig. And as you kind of set up the stage for speeches and such as well, you hear a kind of a polite cough from a gnome next to you, who nods and smiles at you and says, I work for the opera house, may I? And before you can really answer, he has taken out his wand, waving it towards the stage. You see it starting to rise. You see planks and logs assemble themselves. And you weren't really planning for a proscenium arch, but now it is there.
I'm going to have to redirect this whole thing.
It is definitely kind of more posher and overproduced that you were planning for. You weren't planned to have it all kind of be covered by this illusory, the wood to be covered by this illusory white marble as well. But then you also see the construction workers that have been working on the Sparrow walking in and doing this all for you. The gnome director kind of walks off muttering about where to place the orchestra. And as the night goes along and as you kind of plan and try to plan for this, you start feeling strangely alone because this has taken on a sense of being something else entirely, something for the people that they are taking care of themselves. You are relegated into a more VIP, boring status. As the night goes on, speeches are held, obviously. Alden, Larian, makes an appearance and speaks how Stan valiantly saved his son, although the exact nature of the kidnapping or why this happened remains very foggy. Illyra shows up as well, and speaks about the corruption in the city and how Guznik and Sons set the city on a path towards a fierce heel, Ing. there's Dixon, who speaks of does a speech that's very monotone. It's almost just a log of what happened with your case in the temple. Details just down to street addresses and names of the stores that you passed by. Just things that he saw, literally. Point of view. At this point, I will say, because there's many people that you wish to discuss and talk to, you see Ashgrave there. You see Harass Kant, who's talking to Ashgrave actually at this point. You see the play starting to take place as well. You see all the heads. Some of them are there. Salias is there. Some of the heads of the houses are there. Not all of them, however. But I will say, at this point, and I did read your messages, that we're going to stop at this point, in the middle of the evening, just before the play, and end this session here to see what happens next time.
What a cliffhanger! How exciting! Finn.
Goodbye.